This morning we are at Mary Cariddi's place in Bullet Tree. As he has built, this is a new building. And the beautiful thing is there's a cocoon tree right outside, and even the fruits are leaning over the roof. And Mary will explain to us and give us a tour of this building that she has constructed. Mary.
Hi, good morning. This is located in Gaia's Estate here in Bullet Tree Falls. I designed this after a Mayan-style house with a clay pot on the roof. They were round houses that were developed on the coastal regions of our country and the Yucatan. I used the palmetto. I like the look of it, and it's also a very native plant, easy to get. I tried to design my buildings with as much of nature as I can so that it blends in with your environment and isn't a sore thumb on it, you know. So many houses just don't belong. They just don't look right. So, and I like nature. So we tried as much as possible to keep as many of our natural trees as we could. It brings in the wildlife. We have howler monkeys here. We have toucans and every type of bird you can imagine flies in. We keep the trumpet tree, as you can see over there. They love the fruit off of the trumpet tree. I mean, you see drunken parrots and drunken toucans. They get high off of that thing. Anyway, let's go inside. These are nice local-made mahogany doors. This is the foyer, basically. My house used to be an office on one side and my house on the other. But we took the office and turned it into a guest suite.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what is going on. I need an electrician here. But this way you have a place for guests or, you know, long-term visitors, or it could be a rental.
Yes.
But again, we tried to keep it as natural as possible. I like to use our local hardwoods for finishing. I use imported pressure-treated farm pine for the structure. It's tree farmed. And then we use our natural hardwoods for finishing. And yeah, we incorporated a little kitchen. And yeah, we design our own tables. Is this cool or what? See the legs on this? This is, what's the spice wood called? Allspice? That's spice wood we use for the legs. Right? It's really good for barbecuing, but it's great for legs.
Yeah.
This is a nice little bathroom. Again, we used the natural stone. You see, this is a combination of our slates and then imported slates from Guatemala. So all the grays, browns, blacks are local, and then the green we put in there to give a contrast. So you have a nice rain shower. Yeah, it turned out quite well, actually.
Okay.
And then, you come from the foyer. This little door was made just for the office staff to get in, to get to the fridge. And then my house changed, so... And most people actually are coming, they don't know it, they're coming through the back door.
Yeah, yes.
And this is the utility room,
yes,
which can have your washer and dryer, but I just have the feet, and we cook our own food for our dogs. So we have a big pot of food there, and that's cooked food. Yeah, we got a little chicks because we keep them in here until they're big enough to be out with the big chicks. But this is just your utility room where you keep all your cleaning supplies. This is the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that space was designed to have...
And this one, Mary.
Yeah,
tell us about this.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You see the old European plaques up at the top, brass plaques, those are from Europe. And then you're in a very Mayan style kind of modern home. And it's supposed to have a fire hearth and your cooking stove. Fire hearth for cooking up your beans, and you know, we always had a pot of beans, a pot of corn, and a pot of dog food cooking on the back of the fire hearth when I was a kid. And so, to me, it just seems like the logical thing to do with the cost of living and
Yeah.
yeah, it's and then you come in over this side into my office, and this room is office and kind of a library and where we stage for different jobs.
Yeah.
Can you see good?
Yes, yes.
Oh, my mother collected elephants. And those elephants are probably 50, 60 years old.
Wow.
She drug them everywhere, back a bush, and they've been cracked or tusks broken but you know, she loved elephants, so I ended up with all of her elephants. Yeah, you know, they had a little pup. That one she's literally glued back together. It fell off of one of the trailers going into the jungle. Can you grab that rabbit there? That's a brass rabbit. It's a doorstop and it's heavy. Now this is my sanctuary. This is the master suite.
Oh, yes. And then this interesting feature here.
I tell you what, it's hot in here and you have it locked up. You open one window and all the heat convects out through like a chimney.
Yeah.
And it cools off really, really great. Okay, puppy, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my light table and drafting table from all the drawings and things I have done with the architectural design and so forth. On the other side of the wall is a half bath and then a shower dressing room. So that way one person can be using the bathroom and brushing their teeth, the other person can be bathing and dressing. So it takes one bathroom and kind of makes it two. Very efficient, it's great for couples, you know.
Yes.
Out here is my exterior sanctuary.
Oh, wow. Yes.
This is where I have my
veranda.
garden. Oh. Check out my peppers.
Oh, yeah.
My first peppers. Oh, my. Yeah. We've got the finishing of our tomato crop. I planted those in October. And we're still getting tomatoes off of them and starting some new ones. But I have my different herbs.
Yeah.
Basil, oregano, cebollines, green onions. But you check it out. This is where you come to sit. The views are incredible. Guatemala is way over that hill pointing up in the way in the background. That's Guatemala.
Oh.
Further than maybe. Yeah, and down here we have citrus. We have 5 types of bearing citrus trees.
Mm-hmm.
We've got pomegranate, noni, mami, but hybrid mami, so it bears when it's low. I don't know, golden plum. And that green building, that's our raised chicken coop.
Mm.
One side of it has mesh wire, so the stool goes down, and it has ramps. So they have a ramp this side that takes them down into this pasture for a week, and they have a ramp on the other side, takes them down to the other pasture. And then I'll lock the dogs in here and let them out in this, so they always have a lot of bugs and grass, and you know, it keeps your environment bug free too.
Yes.
You know, it keeps the ticks down, fleas down,
Yeah.
roach down, and they're good at killing snakes. And then this is actually a little tilapia pond. That pond is 10 feet deep,
Wow.
and it's for the duck and the goose and the fish. I use the fish for fertilizer mostly.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's wonderful fertilizer. Fish, the North American indigenous people use fish to grow their corn and their pumpkin. It's wonderful fertilizer.
So, Mary, this building here, you built it for yourself, but you
I originally
are going to
built-
sell it.
I originally built it to sell,
Uh-huh.
and then decided I wanted it for my home. And see the other one over there? That's the tree house. It's like 14 feet above ground, so it's almost at the same level as my house. It's exact same layout, and if you notice, this is a pod-style home. So you have 3 polygons, and that is set out in a V shape, so you have a nice courtyard here where the pool is, and there can be a deck out there. But yeah, I originally built it to sell, and now 8 years later I'm going to sell it. I need a smaller home. It's too much for one
Yes,
person.
yes.
It's just like rattling around and cleaning up and after dusk, you know, there's nobody with me. Yeah, and we have water catchment system. I have underground tanks over there, and we have black tanks here, and then I just pump it up into that tank, and it gravity feeds into the house. So once a week we pump up water. We don't have to have electricity the rest of the week for water. So everything's gravity feed. Everything was here designed to use the least electricity and power consumption you possibly could.
Right.
That is a prototype. That's called a swamp box. It was the original ACU before they had air conditioners. Really? They built stuff like this, and what it does, it has a pump that pumps the water up, and the water pumps up top here into a pan, and then it drips down on these coils and collects back. But there's a suction fan on the other side, so it sucks the air through that cold water, which through the condensation makes the air cold, and it uses very little power. I mean, it's got one little fan and one little fish.
This you did it yourself?
Yeah, me and one of the guys, yeah. I mean, I did it out of scraps that I had around because I wasn't sure, and we wanted to do a prototype. You do 2 or 3 before you get it right. Yeah. But feel the air. Feel the air coming through there.
Oh, yes.
And see, the nice thing about having
so you use this one
to push it out more.
It cools your room.
Yeah.
And with that, how you call that, Mary?
Cupola.
The dome, or what you call it?
Cupola. It's a cupola.
Okay. So that also cools.
Yeah, that.
And the windows you have is wide and.
Hot air naturally rises.
Yeah.
So when you're forcing cool air in, it's forcing the hot air out.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, once I got it, then I could put it in that window and leave it there, and you can have them autofill and stuff. But yeah, and it's healthier than AC. And like when it's dusty, that water takes the dust out of the air, so the dust doesn't get in the house. If it's smoky, it helps to take the smoke out of the air, so that because the water collects it. It's a simple, old-fashioned system.
Yeah.
Here, out the front door.
The front door now.
The front door. Yeah. Here, I had a construction business and a furniture business here. So that's a 2-car garage that's never been used for cars. We use it for building furniture and specialty units for houses. And those are lumber sheds and hardware where we cure natural. You have to cure it for 2 or 3 years before we can make a hand-carved sink.
Yes.
And it needs to be shade cured. So we have those all stuck in there that we collect here and there. And then we carve. I have put photos out about the sinks and stuff.
Frame, I read.
Huh?
The big frame.
Oh yeah, we do some amazing ones. Now that one there is Hummingbird Furnitures. I got it from them. I wasn't doing furniture at that point. We were just building houses. But yeah, the idea is for you to drive up here and go into the car park. But yeah, I just never needed. I needed the space for the workshop, you know. And we didn't wall in the workshop because it would have made it hot and dusty. So we just did the framing and let the air flow and keep as much of the natural trees as we can. Tapakula we have. It survives really well in the dry.
Yeah. The pishoy.
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 The pishoy.
Tapakula.
Yes.
Pishoy. Yeah, see where I come from, we don't have those. Down on the Hummingbird, we don't have that kind of tree. That's a dry weather.
Yeah.
But if you notice all the bougainvillea, we just pruned it back. But I have every color of bougainvillea you can get. And I got it from Riverwalk Nursery, my first one. They have every color. How do you like that chimney? That's the outside look of our wonderful
that's what I
fireplace.
was looking at.
The chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading that the tapaculo, the pishoy, is very good for diabetic. Make it into tea.
Probably is. I mean, there isn't a bush tree I know of that doesn't have a medicinal value to it. And what's nice about living in Bullet Tree, the women seem to be the ones that know about those things. They're the ones that have been teaching me the different things here about the different medicines besides what I grew up with on the hummingbird.
And I see you have the cajon there bearing.
Oh, yeah. My neighbor makes cahoon oil, so every so often they come and get all the cahoon from me, which is fine by me. I love the look, and I don't want to trim them up.
Yeah.
You know, we have to every now and then, but...
When you break it, you take out the
Oh, when I was a kid?
and then you roast it. It's nice.
Oh, we never roasted them. Never thought of it.
My mother used to roast it.
Yeah, that would be good. But as a kid, when you're out in the bush and you're hungry,
Yeah.
that fills the belly
Yes.
quick.
True.
Yeah. And bugger hard for broke.
Oh yes.
Hard
Very
for broke.
hard. We used to eat them a lot when we used to go to the bush. We used to bring the big bunch and we bring it at home.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, I've helped make the cahoon oil and stuff as a kid. My mom says, "Oh, this is too much work. There's not enough."